Hey there, and welcome. Today, I'll be looking back at a third-person horde shooter called Exoprimal. It was developed and published by Capcom. In the background, you'll see two matches I recorded after finishing the game. This review is really late. Note that I finished the game on the 13th of December in 2023. So my thoughts and experiences are from that time. Alright, let's begin then. Exoprimal is a lot of fun right off the bat. It's a fast-paced horde shooter where the enemies are different dinosaurs. Two teams of players race it out, trying to complete missions on each map as quickly as possible. The one who manages to beat the last missions the quickest wins. The game has some basic progression where you can unlock new classes called exosuits and modules for them. Modules add modifiers to your abilities or stats, which in some way either change or enhance them. They are usually small additions, but some of them change gameplay noticeably, which I like. One really interesting thing they did was the map. While this game is lobby-based, they don't have separate maps. Instead, the whole game is one big map and you spawn on separate areas within it for each session. However, despite that, they have managed to create a lot of variety in terms of biomes and points of interest. With that said, weirdly, the further you progress in the game's story, the less variety there is. For some reason later in the game, I never spawned in some areas anymore, and it seemed like the map pool became significantly smaller. Maybe once the story is done, those are added back to the pool, but I didn't see that to be true, so chances are they are not added to the pool. Or maybe they just have a much lower chance to be chosen. It does add some sense of progression with more complex parts of the map spawning later in the game, but I don't think they are worth it, if that is all we get. Another downside to this kind of map design is future development. Since this game is built as a live service, they need to add more maps in the future, but they are limited in what they can do due to how they built the world. I guess they can make something up for a new island, since the game has time travel in its story, but we'll have to see where that actually goes. The story itself had a full conclusion with no "we'll see you in the next expansion" type of ending. They could potentially also add extra pieces from the existing map that they haven't turned into maps yet, but I am not sure whether there are any parts that don't exist as maps yet, and even that type of development is limited. Of course, a game needing more maps is my opinion. I feel like even PvP games live or die based on the amount of maps they have for me. The gameplay itself is never varied enough for the long term. Anyway, moving on. Exoprimal's story was interesting to follow. I liked most of it. The parts I didn't like went due to them being bad. It was just a few minor things they kept repeating to really hammer something minor home. I wasn't a fan of that. Some of those parts even kind of became annoying in a way. But the story as a whole was fine. The way they also added the story visually as like an investigation wheel, where you open story pieces in various categories that you can see at all times, is really cool. The story itself is still linear, but you can see visually how the subjects fly around in the overarching plot. What I wonder is the game's future. People who would like to play for the story can't potentially play for the story, because if the game doesn't keep getting new players all the time, then later parts of the story will take forever to matchmake, since it feels like the matchmaking system is tied to the story progression. The further in the game I progressed, the longer it took to matchmake. At some points it took even up to 5 minutes. The game has various different exosuits which act as classes. They are split between TPS, tank and support, like a typical holy trinity in gaming. Each exosuit works quite differently from each other, which genuinely adds to the game's variety. I played as Brazzy the most, but I don't think I have an actual favorite exosuit. Each of them works differently enough that I just like playing as any of them. They also added alpha variants of the exosuits, and for the ones I managed to unlock, I can say that the alpha variants are not just boosted versions of their regular counterparts, they work differently. For example, Brazzy has a grenade launcher as a main weapon, and Brazzy Alpha uses a rocket launcher with the charging mechanic instead. The reason why it works as an alpha variant of the same exosuit is because it uses the same theme, both use explosives. One major thing I disliked about this game is the way they designed the UI in the menus. Lobby menus have a lot of wasted space. The exosuit info tab is terrible. They have different tabs in there for you to change emotes, modules or cosmetics of your exosuit, but they also include that same info on the exosuit's main page, which is redundant. Worst part is that I never managed to find a place where I could read an exosuit's abilities in the exosuit menu. So if they omitted such an important part just to show useless info instead, which is already present in submenus of the same tab, then that is just bad UI design. UI design as a whole in many modern video games seems to have taken a back seat, because it has become worse over the years. We are in an age where we have UI designers as a specific job, and somehow the designs and usability have become worse than when we didn't have that as a job. In Exoprimal you also have a gacha system with the cheapest gacha animation I have probably ever seen. Fortunately you cannot buy gacha, so there is that at least. I think that if they really want to add a gacha system for unlocks in the game, then this is the best way to do it. I think a lot of people like gacha as a concept, because you never know what you are going to get. My personal stance on gacha is simple. I like the mechanic, but I dislike the premium version of the mechanic. If gacha was only possible with in-game currency that you cannot in any way buy or earn using real money, then it would be fine to have. Another thing to note is that this is a full-priced game, which is exclusively multiplayer, and includes microtransactions in it. Yes, you can earn everything in the game fairly easily, but generally I would still prefer if microtransactions would not be in a full-priced game. Freemium tactics just don't fit the paid game. Due to them not getting in the way of this game in my experience, they don't seem bad here. I was able to buy every module I unlocked during story mode, and even max level a few of them. There are still a few more modules to go, but the game's leveling pace is really good, so you should be able to unlock something every 1 to 3 matches, and have enough currency to also buy what you unlock. In conclusion, I liked Exoprimal. I think that this game is worth playing even if you just want to see the story mode. It's roughly 20 hours long. There is enough variety and fun to be had for those 20 hours, and maybe even a little beyond. I hope they will keep adding more exosuits and maybe also add more dinosaurs over time. That way the game would feel fresh even later down the line. I think that this is all I wanted to say about Exoprimal. Thank you for listening to my rambling, and I hope that if you had questions about the game, some of them were answered here. I'll see you next time. Bye.
You may invade the enemy team's combat area to disrupt the enemy's mission progress. Summoning raptors. Summoning Dilophosaurus. Summoning a Triceratops. Summoning Pteranodons. Summoning Pachycephalosaurus. Summoning raptors.
We weren't giving up, right?
Back it up. Overdrive ready. Barrel breaker.
Summoning Pteranodons.
You're my master. Nightmare. The hunt's not over.
The enemy team fulfilled its objectives first. The clock is ticking. Do not lose track of time. Dinosaur call complete. Combat test complete. You are victorious. Thank you for producing high-quality data. Remember, exosuits can always be refined. Always.
In this moment, bliss.
Behold, the best exofighters in this war game. You will now engage in a dinosaur combat test. Exofighters, follow the Watcher. Initiating dinosaur cull mission. Preparing combat area. Please wait. Summon baryonyx seas. Summon baryonyx seas. Summon baryonyx seas. Dinosaur call complete.
That's better.
You are completing objectives slower than the enemy team. Proceed to next mission. Initiating dinosaur call mission. Preparing combat area. Please wait. Summon baryonyx seas. Summoning pteranodons. Summoning baryonyx seas. You are completing objectives slower than the enemy team. Follow the Watcher. Proceed to next mission. Initiating Dinosaur Cull mission. Preparing combat area. Please wait. Summon Baryonyx Seas. Summoning Pachycephalosauruses. Summoning Baryonyx Seas. Dinosaur Cull complete.
Thanks.
You are completing objectives faster than the enemy team. Initiating Dinosaur Cull mission. Preparing combat area. Please wait. Summoning Dilophosauruses. Summoning Baryonyx Seas. Summoning Baryonyx Seas. Summoning Baryonyx Seas. Summoning Baryonyx Seas. Dinosaur Cull complete. You are completing objectives faster than the enemy team. Follow the Watcher. Proceed to next mission. Initiating Dinosaur Cull mission. Preparing combat area. Please wait. Tracks acquired. Initiate data transfer. Summoning Pachycephalosaurus. Summoning Baryonyx Seas. Summoning Suchomimuses. Summoning Baryonyx Seas. Summoning Pachycephalosaurus. Summoning Suchomimuses.
Overdrive ready.
Dinosaur Cull complete. You are completing objectives faster than the enemy team. Follow the Watcher. Proceed to next mission. Initiating Dinosaur Cull mission. Preparing combat area. Please wait. Summoning a Triceratops. Summoning Dilophosauruses. Summoning Sinornithosauruses. Summoning Sinornithosauruses. Dinosaur Cull complete. You are completing objectives faster than the enemy team.
I owe you.
Warning, you will now commence the final mission. Brace yourselves for interdimensional travel. Prepare for combat. The first team to complete all of the assigned objectives wins. Do your part and generate robust combat data.
That feels good.
Summoning Suchomimuses.
Thanks.
Summoning Suchomimuses. Area defense problem. 25%. Pachycephalosauruses. Area defense progress, 50%. Summoning superminuses.
I needed that.
The enemy team has progressed to the final mission. Act quickly to close the performance gap. Summoning Pachycephalosauruses. I have awarded the enemy team a dominant. They may invade with a hostile dynasty. Warning. The enemy team has activated the dominant. Enemy-controlled dinosaur incoming. Prioritize its destruction.
Won't let that happen again.
Area defense progress, 75%. Asset is nearly destroyed. The asset has been destroyed. Enter the specified area to restore it.
Threat eliminated. Damage critical. Oh, you want
Asset has been restored.
need repairs. Keep that up.
Summoning Pachycephalosauruses.
Overdrive ready.
Area defense complete. Follow the Watcher. Proceed to next mission.
I own you.
Summoning Suchomimuses. Summoning Pachycephalosauruses. Area defense progress, 25%. Summoning Carnotaurus. Summoning Dilophosaurus. Summoning Pachycephalosauruses. Area defense progress, 50%. Summoning Suchomimuses. Resetting mission parameters. The mission again. Proceed to next mission.
Won't let that happen again.
pachycephalosauruses. Summoning Dilophosaurus. Summoning Suchomimuses. Summoning a Carnotaurus. Summoning Pachycephalosaurus.
Nice work.
Summoning Pachycephalosaurus.
Fix myself up.
I've got him.
Damage critical. Time to use it. It's up.
Summoning Dilophosaurus.
Keep that up.
Area defense complete. The clock is ticking. Do not lose track of time. Proceed to next mission. A Dominator has been generated for your team. Use it to commandeer a dinosaur and attack the enemies.
Thank you.
Summoning Suchomimuses.
Overdrive ready.
Summoning Suchomimuses. Area defense progress 25%. Summoning a Carnotaurus. Summoning Suchomimuses. Area defense progress 50%. Combat test complete. You are defeated. Obsessive dedication to performance excellence is an Exofighter's duty and reward. Keep it up, champ. Behold, the best Exofighters in this war game.